Book review alert.
Human music. I like it.
Hey there, fans of the MrCosmoNinja show. You like that intro? Let's roll it again.
Human music. I like it.
Well, as you can tell, doing book reviews. This week, it's not going to be weekly. This week, we're reviewing George Orwell's 1984, a classic. It is of the dystopian future genre. It is literary fiction, not any of that commercial trash like Divergent or the Flunger claims, which I've heard are good, so I shouldn't call trash, but this isn't trash. Now, the premise of this book is about 1984, of course. It wasn't written in 1984. It's not the date of publishment. It's the date of which the book takes place. The book was actually written in it was written before 1984. So this is like a look to the future to 1984. Now the premise of this book is it's a society it's not great, because you know that's what dystopians are about. And so you know, there's like thought police, and they control what people think, and like everything's outlawed. You can't have your own material possession, and there's only one kind of alcohol. It's called Victory Gin. It's not good. So the story takes place around Winston. He's one man who dares to be different in this world full of a government that's trying to keep all the same. But he does it in secret, of course, because he's a pussy boy. Now, I've taken it upon myself to make a graph of how much enjoyment I got while reading this book. So here's the start of the book. Here's the end, and like higher the line, the more I enjoyed reading it. And so you know, it starts off in the middle like, oh, this book's okay. Then it really ramps up. That's about where the sex scene is. I'll talk about that later. Then there's this part where it's like, yeah, it's really getting going, and then it just goes straight down. It just goes straight down, and then it goes down even more. And then it's just so, oh, it's so bad. It's ugh. Now this isn't like I didn't enjoy it because it's badly written, because it's not. It's very eloquently written. There's a lot of big words and big prose, and but it's just so fucking sad. It's just so sad. I want to give you some perspective here. It's about 50 pages in here that are just torture. It's just torture. There's 50 pages of torture. Do you want to read a book like that? 'Cause I didn't, but I did, and it sucked. Now there are a lot of themes in this book. I'm not going to be talking about that. I don't even know what themes are. I mean, in this, for the story. So it's about Winston. He meets a girl. I don't want to spoil the story for you, but it's about Winston trying to fall in love with this girl, even though this terrible, oppressive government is really going down on him. Really hard, you know? And he doesn't like it. He's sticking it to the man. Let me just tell you, it's Winston who's getting tortured. Man does not like getting it stuck to. Now, you may be asking, MrCosmoNinja, why are you wearing such unformal attire? You're usually so well dressed, and I would be well dressed. It would be up here with a tie and a suit jacket. But this is how I read, and I thought you would get a better experience if I dressed how I read, as well as how I talked with you. So you get this is how I feel when I'm reading. Very comfortable, like comfort. Now the government, also known as Big Brother, in 1984, they don't like government. They like everything being uncomfortable. They somehow took the joy out of sex. That's actually a big plot point in this book. lot of sexual themes in this book. I know I said I wouldn't be talking about themes, but some of them are sexual. Now, I was surprised by this, by how sexy, you know, the first half of this book was, because, you know, they teach this book in schools. How can it be so sexy? They teach it to children. So at first, when reading this book, and I was getting really sad because it's just such a sad book, I was like, you know, this is good for me, Cosmo. You know, I'll open myself up emotionally a little bit, you know, get some emotional diversity, but then it just became too much. Then it just went downhill, and every night I read it, I was like, oh god, it's just getting even sadder. And then again sadder, and then even sadder. They got even happier. They got even sadder. It's like, whoa, and you know, it was like I was just felt like, you know, it was like nothing mattered, and love didn't exist, and there was nothing existing outside my brain, you know, consciousness, you know, existence implies consciousness, and it's like, whew, God, you know, and you know, so then I watched some cartoons, and I felt a little better, but God, it really stuck around with me, you know, so if you really like feel sadness, you know, read 1984. So if we're talking about characters here, you know, there's a lot of character development. There are a lot of characters. There's there's Winston, and there's the other one. There's a few minor characters, all of which you hate by the end, because, but you know, Winston, you really connect with Winston. George Orwell really makes you connect with him. That's really what sets it off. Like, you really feel like, man, I feel like Winston. Like, I feel like this guy embodies me personally if I was in this situation. But then it just goes downhill. And that connection you make with Winston just makes it even worse. It's like I can see myself being tortured for 50 fucking pages. But yeah, you know, it's a good book. It's in 3 parts. I don't know why. I do know why. But it doesn't really matter. And there's a popular slogan in the book. Everywhere on the walls, it's written, "War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength." And that's foreshadowing. That's the way the government is set up, and you'll learn about that. There's a little bit of non-fiction fiction reading in here. If you read, you'll get what I mean. And you know, this world is just crazy. There's a 2 minutes hate every day so Winston goes to work and just for 2 minutes everyone at work looks at a picture of a guy and just hates on him. It's literally what it is. It's 2 minutes hate, and every year there's a hate week where they just hate on the enemy. Also, they're in constant war. They're always at war with their. So there's 3 factions. There's Oceania, which encompasses Great Britain, where this is set, and North America, and there's East Asia, which is in East Asia, and then there's Africa. I forget what Africa is called, but yeah, and they're constantly at war, and that's kind of where this is set, and this is set in Great Britain, as Winston, who works at the ministry, he works at the Ministry of Truth, rewriting history to make it more suitable for the government. And that's kind of what's going on here. And so it's a very bleak book. It's gonna be very bleak if you read it. There's a lot of bleakness. Bleak is a word that's come to my mind right now. It never came to me before when describing this book, but it's coming now. And yeah, it really brings up a lot of questions for the future. You know, if the government control. It really makes me want to be a Republican, because you know, anti-government control. This is all totalitarianism. It's a very fascist dictatorship. Even though there's no clear dictator, it's just Big Brother. There's just Big Brother. No one really knows if Big Brother's a person, but everyone looks up to him. They're like, man, Big Brother's so cool. And yeah, and it's Winston who really goes against the grain and slapped for it. So on the all, if I were to rate this book, I'll probably give it 1,000 out of 1984 because it's really well written. It made me feel things, which books, as good of a book can do it. You can make me feel things, and but this made me feel too many things. Too many things. Too many things I felt reading this book. It's too many things. Let's see that intro again.
Human music. I like it.
Hope that's not copyrighted. Who's watching this anyways? Well, that's my review for George Orwell's 1984. Next, I'll be reviewing American Psycho, the movie, with Patrick Bateman and Christian Bale.